White here with the LK10 community, and in this video I've asked some of my friends who are part of what we call a leader team to share what this has been like for them. Leader teams are part of Leader 101. This is sort of the next step after Church 101. It's for people who are leading house churches, small groups, church planting, all of those kinds of things. And we found that for a lot of leaders, one of their greatest needs is to be with other people that are in that same ministry of leading. So it's a place to go where we can share our hearts, where we can learn from one another, and all of those things. And so we do this twice a month, and we have about 10 of these leader teams so far. We see them multiplying. But we want to give you, on this video, we want to give you a little flavor for why we appreciate these, what we see God doing in them. And so oftentimes on our Hangouts we do things in rounds, which means we just kind of go person after person after person. And I think we'll do 2 rounds on this. And so I'll ask each person to introduce themselves and where they are, and we'll go from there. So we're going to start with Tony. So Tony, tell us a little bit about where you are and just a little bit about your focus of your ministry, and then what's one thing about these leader teams that has been helpful to you?
Great. And it might help if everybody mutes. Sorry. If you're not muted, please mute. Thanks. Okay. And I am currently in Nashville, Tennessee, but I work remotely in Uruguay, South America. I run a training center for leaders and innovators in Uruguay via the internet mostly. So at this point, I was in Uruguay for 18 years, so this is kind of a new way of working for me. I really appreciate, one of the things that I appreciate about this group is that it's an amazing model for me to train other leaders. Since I direct a leadership training center, this has just been fantastic to be able to be a part of this group and learn a beautiful flow, kind of a structure that we use to connect with our hearts, but also on mission. So I've really enjoyed that structure that it's provided and the way it's lent itself to the connection.
Great, thank you, Tony. And that's certainly one of our goals, is a very simple but powerful format to follow, which then can be replicated. So anyone on this call can take this format and use it in training leaders in your situation. So that's a great one. Thank you, Tony. Mina, who are you? Where are you? What's your focus of ministry?
Yes, my name is Mina Millen, and I'm here in California, in the Bay Area, very close to San Jose. And I've really enjoyed the Church 101 format and the class. And if you are interested in going further with that, the Leadership 101 is just a beautiful, natural flow. If you have liked what you've done in Church 101, then the leadership, you're just with other leaders that can support one another. And we do the same thing as Church 101. We check in at a heart level, which I love. And but with leaders, we do focus on, okay, what is the Lord calling you to, and what is your goal? And it's a beautiful reminder, you know, every couple weeks or however much your leader team meets, is you encourage one another with what you are hearing from the Lord. And so we're still going through the basic listening to each other's hearts and listening to the Lord. But at the same time, what you didn't get in Church 101, in Leader 101, you get a chance to actually practice leading, and what does that look like? And you could take it to any small group, even at dinner. And so you really get grounded in the DNA of LK10, which is listening to each other's hearts and listening to the Lord. So I've really appreciated, I guess, kind of on-the-job training where we just practice, in a sense, what we're preaching, but we're experiencing the Lord in it. So if you want more of that, the leader team is where you're going to get more and continue the flow. Yep.
I know Nina has taken this what she's learned here and has a group then on the West Coast. So it's multiplying there. And one of the things I would add is that we have a lot of fun in this group. And Mina, she's very serious right now, but she brings lots of laughter and joy to our group, and this is not just all serious. We laugh a lot, and so thank you for that, Mina. It's great. And let's do Bob and Barb Lidfors next. So, Bob, you want to start?
Yeah, my name is Bob Lidfors, and this is my wife Barbara. We are missionaries to Germany, and also have a lot of contacts in ministry in other countries, particularly India and Uganda and a couple of other African countries. I guess what has really been the greatest benefit for me so far in this leaders team is to see a different model of leadership than most people are used to. And the model that we've been learning here is more like coaching, and it's bringing other people out. It's listening well, and it's asking questions to bring forth what other people are receiving from God, and that it's just a different type of leadership than we usually get and hear about and have modeled before us. So that's the thing that I really find very beneficial for myself.
So one of the things we do is we rotate leadership. So at any given week, anybody on this call can be the facilitator. So there's no expert. In a sense, we're all kind of in this together and learning together, and it's always remarkable to me how much learning takes place in a very informal kind of a context. Things arise, people ask questions, they share stories, and lots of learning takes place in that context. So, Barb?
Yeah, I'm the leader Hangouts. Probably what I've enjoyed most has been just the community and the sharing with people in other situations in other parts of the world. There's such a variety of things that God is doing in different places, and a variety of ways that the Luke 10 vision can be implemented. And we've appreciated having a place regularly where we can bring questions about our developing house church, where we can hear how others have experienced also these aspects. And yeah, it's just been wonderful making lots of new friends, and it's worked to have friends over the internet that are very meaningful. So we're happy about it. I am too.
I think we're all kind of surprised at the level of friendship that develops, even though in some cases we've never met each other, in the flesh. It's been virtual, and so we have California, we have Colorado, we have Tennessee, we have Germany represented in this group, and yet there's a real closeness, a heart level kind of connection that we have with each other over this call. So it's been quite a remarkable experience. So we're going to do a second round, and if you have something else you'd like to add or something you'd like to underline that somebody else has said, feel free to do that. So Tony, we'll go second round with you.
I think the other thing I would just add is that it's beautiful on weeks when you don't see anything happening in your ministry necessarily, or in your family, or in your small group, or your home church, or whatever the case may be, that when we meet you can still see God working in other areas of the world and other people, and you somehow feel a part of that. So it really is beautiful that I can be encouraged that God is at work and He is moving, and that I can just wait and hold on, and be patient and let Him do whatever He's doing that I don't see. So I enjoyed that aspect of it as well, of just accompanying each other in that walk, but the sharing of the stories and being able to rejoice with each other and be with each other in the lull times as well, when we're not sensing things or we're not seeing things moving forward like we'd like.
I think that's a powerful insight, that as leaders, we're going to have down times. We're going to have times where it seems like nothing's happening, or things are a mess, or God's far away, or whatever. And I find that I'm always encouraged by being with you guys. There's always at least some of this group that are excited, and that kind of rubs off on me. And so that's been a great benefit to me as well. So Mina, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'm just so surprised that our leader team for the California, the West Coast there has been meeting almost a year. And just to give you a little, insight, when we get on the Hangout, we're almost always breaking out in laughter because someone, I don't know, the camaraderie, someone cracks a joke, or I don't know, the flow of it really is a joyful community. And the last Hangout I was on a couple weeks ago, we were laughing so hard in the beginning, and as we were checking in, someone brings up a question, a very real question about fear. And we were asking the Lord about that, and we went so deep. So it's really an amazing combination of lighthearted laughter and that we are happy to be together. But then when someone asks a question, it can go so deep that it's really amazing to have those two combinations. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate the realness of it and that we could be ourselves and get some of our questions answered and listen to the Lord together. Yeah.
Great. We've used this phrase for a long time, that we want to start house churches, and we define that as vibrant families of Jesus, which I think is a great definition. But I'm also using this language. We want to develop high joy groups. And I love that idea that joy is what my brain experiences when I'm with people who are glad to be with me. And so groups can be low joy or high joy, and our goal is to follow the Lord in creating high joy groups. And I think these Hangouts have been exactly that for leaders. And again, I just want to point out that you've kind of taken this format and used it in the West Coast, and Bob and Barb didn't mention that yet, but they've taken sort of the same format and have a European leader team hangout. So it's really fun to see how these are multiplying. Our goal is that there will be dozens and dozens of these groups in the future. Oops, there we go. So Bob, let's come around. I think, did I mute myself?
No. I can hear you.
There we go. Okay. So Bob, sorry about that. We're technological geniuses here. Bob, let's come around to you again. Anything you'd like to add to this conversation?
Yeah, one thing I could add that applies to the Hangout that we have together in this constellation of people, but also to our European Leaders Hangout, and that is the level of caring for each other that results in prayer support for each other. I think, like for our European Leaders Hangout, that's a really important reason why we're together, that we become aware of needs. And our European leaders, actually, the others besides Liv Haiti, who's from Norway, we have someone from France who, with her husband, are missionaries there. We have someone from Russia, and he's essentially a missionary to his own people there. So it's people that are involved in ministry of various kinds, and it's just a really great encouragement to be able to share our particular needs and know that we have other people who understand our situation, have similar experiences perhaps, similar challenges, and are supporting us in prayer. So that's been a real benefit to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think sometimes if we're in a house church, it can feel kind of small. There's just this small group of 8 or 10 or 12 people. But I think these Hangouts give us a sense of the larger picture of what God is doing, even around the whole country, around the whole world, and that's been a great benefit, I think. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Barb, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'll mention that I've appreciated the format of our leader meetings. This is something I know you've worked really hard to give kind of a loose structure to the time that we have, but it always is amazing to me that in this meeting time we share an emotion that's important to us. We share something we're appreciative, thankful for. We share about vision. We pray for each other. We listen to God. And so it's a very varied time, and unfailingly one of those various aspects is more important to me each time, and I'm sure some of the others to others, but I think we all go away feeling enriched and blessed in whatever area was particularly important for us. So it's a real rich time.
So we have a little simple format that we follow, and yet we blend that with spontaneity of listening to the Lord. So like in our hangout earlier today, I really felt led to stop and for us to pray for Bob, who's going to be teaching some of these things in a little church near his home there in Germany. And so, you know, there's a lot of flexibility and freedom as the Lord leads on these as well. So thank you guys for what you shared. You did a great job. For people that are watching this video, if this sounds interesting to you, we'd encourage you to go to the Luke 10 website, LK10.com, and scroll down to number 4. That's where we talk about the Leader 101 course. These leader teams are part of that larger course, and it's for anyone who's finished Church 101. And so take a look at that or email me, and I'd be glad to say more about, you know, what this whole process is and how you get involved. So we'd love to talk to you more about this whole process of training leaders. So thanks, guys. Appreciate all that you've shared.